I made a mistake when I bought my first fly rod. I was walking around Cabela's in Louisville, Kentucky about 10 years ago with $75 worth of gift cards, and I couldn't find anything I really wanted. I had become curious about fly fishing, so I wandered over to the fly shop, and there was an 8-weight fast action fly rod combination on sale for $68.99. That is how I chose my first fly rod, and it was a mistake. My life would have been a lot easier if a different fly rod had been on sale. Let's begin with how a fly rod works. If you try to cast a fly rod the same as a conventional rod and reel, you will end up with a hot mess, and your first fly rod will probably be your last fly rod. A fly rod is a spring that you use to catapult the weighted line across the water. When you were in school, did you ever use a ruler to launch an eraser across the classroom? To launch an eraser across the classroom, you bent the ruler back, and when you release the eraser, you push forward with your thumb to increase the energy and get more distance. A fly rod uses the same principle. You use the weight of the line to bend the rod backwards, and then you come forward to a sudden stop and push with your thumb to increase the line speed and energy in the rod so that it snaps forward and transfers the stored energy to the fly line, which results in a proper cast. This is why learning proper technique is so very important. If your technique is bad, your cast will be bad, and there are no exceptions to this rule. Choosing the wrong fly rod steepens the learning curve and makes it more difficult to learn proper technique. An 8-weight fast action rod is not the correct rod to use when learning to cast. It's too stiff and you'll have difficulty learning proper casting technique. Your first fly rod should be a 5-weight medium action. It's very limber, which has many advantages when learning to cast, but also strong enough to land a pretty nice fish. The problem with a fast action stiff rod, it is more difficult to feel when the rod is bent backwards, aka loaded in fly fishing terms, and you won't begin your forward cast at the proper time. Timing, which is starting and stopping your cast at the proper time, is the most important aspect of learning to cast a fly rod. If you begin your forward cast too soon, your rod isn't loaded. In other words, the ruler hasn't been bent backwards, and very little, if any, energy has been stored in the ruler, and your eraser doesn't go anywhere. If you begin your forward cast too late, the line drops behind you, and you're going to get a brand new piercing. A nice limber 5-weight will bend like a noodle, and you will learn proper timing with a lot less frustration. YouTube thinks you'll like this video. Let me know in the comments if they got it right.